The adaptation of Donna Tartt's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel The Goldfinch begins on a melancholy note. Theo, the film's hero, Ansel Elgort, is alone in a hotel room preparing for his own suicide. He's guilty about the death of his mother when he was young in a bomb explosion in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, which he survived, taking with him a ring and a painting, his mother's favourite, The Goldfinch, by Carol Fabricius. As his father is absent, the young Theo, Oakes Fegley, is put up in the family of a school friend, where the mother, Mrs. Barber, Nicole Kidman, is cool but kind. When his father, Larry, Luke Wilson, turns up with girlfriend Zandra, Sarah Paulson, he's whisked away to live on the edge of the desert in Las Vegas, where he meets up with Boris, Finn Wolfhard, and with absentee parents, the two smoke, drink and take drugs. When his father is killed in a road accident, Theo takes off back to New York, to the antique furniture store run by Hobie, Jeffrey Wright, to whom he'd gone after the explosion many years before. There's a lot to admire in The Goldfinch. Both Ansel Elgort and young Oakes Fegley are excellent as Theo, and Finn Wolfhard and Aneurin Barnard impress as Boris. Nicole Kidman is touchingly convincing as Mrs. Barber, and Sarah Paulson is beautifully tarty as Zandra. The young women in Theo's life, Ashley Cummings as Pippa and Willa Fitzgerald as Kitsy, seem almost superfluous. At 2.5 hours, the film does drag a bit, particularly in the early stages. Irish director John Crowley stretches the narrative based on Peter Straughn's adaptation of the novel to the point where you do wonder about the weight placed on the importance of the endurance of art. It's a rather heavy-handed treatment of a novel which, I must admit, I haven't read.
Well, I haven't read it either, but it is pretty heavy-handed, notwithstanding whether you've read the novel or not. It seems to be sort of bending over backwards to do due justice to this novel of Donna Tartt, which I gather is close to 800 pages long. So it's a pretty, worthy effort to condense it down to even, 6.5 hours? No, so it seemed like 6.5 hours. It's very ponderous, it's very evenly paced, and the weird thing is that it really is sort of like three films. You have this film that starts it off, which is set in the patrician upper reaches of New York with the wealthy family and who love art and have strange sort of secrets, something to do with sailing as a secret in the family. And then you go to the desert and you have a whole, underclass of Americans. We're suddenly visiting for about an hour and a half. And then we're back, and then we go to Amsterdam for what turns out to be a very violent thriller. It's all a bit sort of incompatible, sort of sequence by sequence, I found.
I don't know that Peter Straughan has extracted the bones of the story very successfully for the adaptation. And to tell you the truth, I think Ansel Elgort is effective, but I find him a rather boring actor.
He's a bit wooden, really, I thought. Yeah.
I've just never really embraced him on screen. But no, I found this fairly hard-going and ultimately underwhelming. This is a 3-star film.
It's 3 for me too. It's ponderous and very, as you said, underwhelming.
When you were a child, I used to catch you studying my paintings. You'd always go straight to the very best ones, the Peel, the Lane, the Copley. I used to think, my kindred spirit.
Mrs. Barber, I am so sorry.
I don't need to tell you about loss.